I teased the segment ahead, and the moment it came out of my mouth, I'm like, do I really want to do this?
And I was like, yes, do it. Kidding.
Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of fun on this Wednesday morning because yesterday we were talking about how single guys outnumber single women in the Seattle area by a big margin. I mean, it's like 120 men for every 100 women. This came from the FYI guy in the Seattle Times.
So then why are so many women they tell me hey, I'm trying to find a guy. They're struggling.
Because one of the Well, and this is no offense to anyone if you fall into the category of being a tech bro, but apparently some of the tech bros are a little bit awkward when it comes to dating. Or maybe they aren't into dating because they're very involved in their careers. I think that's one of the thoughts behind this. But for a guy, this is bad news. And I was joking around because I've shared with our audience that my oldest son is going to come back to Seattle from Miami. And I was contemplating sending him the Seattle Times column from yesterday. And I thought, no, I don't want to discourage him. I mean, my mama heart is full that he's coming back.
Right.
Guess what? This morning, first text I get from him, that article.
Oh, no. He's like, this is not good.
I think it'll be fine. But one of the top comments in the Seattle Times mentioned that it doesn't really mean anything, this imbalance, because this was their words. Seattle doesn't have any 666 men. And so all of us were scratching our heads like, what exactly is that? What are we even talking about? So apparently there are some folks who include that they are 666 in their dating profiles so that observant women know, we know what we're going to get, or this is kind of a flex. And for the definition of what that is, this is the one I'm going with.
Okay, what is the definition?
A 6'6" man in a guy is someone who is 6 feet tall with six-pack abs who earns over six figures. Now, for me, that seems extremely superficial, and I think you are leaving a lot of opportunities out.
Yeah.
If that is your criteria when it comes to dating. Yeah. And I'm sure I'm going to guess that I've been out of the dating scene for so long.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty fresh.
You're pretty fresh out of it. So I want to hear about this.
Well, first, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. How does that make you feel when you hear that some women have a 666 rule? How does that make you feel? So I have to tell you, I am a recovering 6'6er. That's what I'll say, recovering.
Oh, really?
Years ago. And
all three?
Not all three. I'll say that.
Okay.
I only two. I said 6'6". And honestly, both were resolved through therapy, because the first one, the six figures, it really wasn't about the money. It was about me being afraid of not having enough, me being afraid of, because at the time I was, doing really well and income. And so I was worried about being taken advantage of. And then I was on TV. So I was like, oh, I'm worried. So maybe I have to get someone that's like this. And I'll never forget, this woman said, well, how much do you need? And I just thought, I actually really don't need that much. And so,
right.
I let that go. I let that go. And then what was the other? Oh, the 6 feet tall. It was a therapist that just told me that's BS, Angela. It has nothing he scientifically broke down that when we have this measurement that this is more attractive, we're actually robbing ourselves. There is no evidence to support that, well, I just feel more secure and it just feels more attractive. It's all BS. And he was so right. Because I met this, because I let all those things go. And once I let those things go, it's like this amazing man walked into my life, and the height never even, he's 5'7". It was never even a thing. We were just attracted to each other, and he was a nice person. Why are you
chuckling over there, Chef? Because Chef's like,
because Ursula asked how that made us feel hearing about the 666 rule, and I thought, overachiever. It makes me feel like an overachiever. And as a fellow, short dude, I appreciate your husband.
Yeah, listen, and I'm also, here was it wasn't just therapy, right? I actually did a little bit of research on it. And here's what blew me away. This is true. ABC did a story years ago, and they did this blind thing of which man would you pick. And they said, well, this man makes $1 million and he's short. And this man, it was, they say 6 feet tall, but he only makes this. Women would choose the tall man over the rich man. And I said, you guys are we have put so much stock into this height thing. And I promise you all, if you have this going on, it really doesn't matter. And the research supports that short men are actually better husbands. They are less likely to divorce. They are more likely to do. It's true.
Okay, wait. Why are you laughing, Chef?
Because clearly you've looked this up.
Yes,
Like you had to find supporting evidence.
Well, no.
To allow yourself to date a shorter guy.
That is not. See, he twists things.
He manages to twist something
That is
into
not
something
what
that is actually really cool.
This was a true connection. I'm just saying that even before, because I really was intrigued by this idea that so many women are like, it needs to be this number, when all the evidence supports that shorter men actually do more chores around the house, like you cook more often, less. In other words, I think for anyone who may have overlooked people like you or my husband, like they are missing out, like straight up missing out.
I love that.
I don't even see. I just love him to pieces. It's not even a thing. I think how silly I was to think that way.
And now conversely, the same can be said for men who have certain criteria that they say, need to be.
It has to be a blonde. It has to be this. It's
HWP, all that stuff. It's like putting all the superficial stuff out there. I get it that you have to be physically attracted to somebody. And you have your type. Your type is your type is your type. But if you make it so narrow, I think you are losing out on a bunch.
I can tell you that things changed for me when I decided that what matters most would be character.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, God, please send me someone with character, like integrity, kindness, all those things. And all of a sudden, that's when it happened. And it didn't matter to me at that point what it looked like. And I got the character and someone I'm attracted to.
That's perfect. Here's a question before we head out.
Yes.
Can women actually tell when a guy's 6 feet tall? Because I don't think they can. In the same way that guys may have a measurement that they believe they need and they can't tell either.
Oh, my gosh.
Now I'm getting
I did have someone.
On the height situation, the women who can tell are the women who are already pretty tall and then wear heels. And they're like, I don't like being taller than the guy that I'm dating. And some people have an issue with that. And those are the women who can really tell if someone, a lot of times someone's really 5'11", but they just say, I'm 6 feet, right? Or I'm 5'10". They just round it up to 6 feet. I think it only makes a difference to some people if now they're taller because they're wearing heels.
Yeah. And I would just invite people just to let that go. But to your point, I think Chef makes a funny point. Because I did have a guy one time like grab my hair on a date to see if it was real.
Oh, what? No.
Oh, yeah. Like it's weird, man. It's weird out there.
I was going to say, I am so glad. But some of the text messages are hilarious.
Not what I thought you were going to say, by the way.
See what you sparked?
Shane in Gig Harbor says, I must be a 6'12" because I have a 12-pack belly.
I'm a 5'5" flabby.
We call that a snack pack, not a 6-pack.
Okay, and as someone, Nick, who is in the dating scene, I'm going to guess that you would never be one of those people that puts those kind of stats on your dating profile. I think that would just be ew.
Yeah, tell us, Nick.
You know, maybe when I was at a younger age, maybe it could have been at a guilty point. But now, I think as you mature and get older, you realize that the more important traits are loyalty, reliability, just
honesty.
Good personality, honesty, all those things.
Kindness, absolutely.
And I think those superficial traits kind of fade away as you get older. Hopefully, not for all. I can't speak for everybody.
I love it.
And I don't think any of us are saying, like, don't get with someone that you're not attracted to.
Of course.
I'm just saying if we open ourselves up to the possibility.
No, I love that. I think you shared a lot of things that were probably people were surprised. There's a lot of response on our text line right now. Yes, absolutely. And I love it.